Today's episode of the Bleav in Steelers show is brought to you by betonline.ag. NFL Week 6 is in full swing. If you want to place a bet on any of the sports gambling action throughout the NFL season, college football, or Major League Baseball postseason, betonline.ag is the place to do it. What you need to do is go to betonline.ag today on your mobile device, on your desktop computer. Use our promo code Bleav, that's BLEAV, to get started. Bet online, where the game starts. All right, cue the music. It's time to start the show. Welcome to the Bleav in Steelers show on the Bleav Network. I'm your host, Mark Bergin, rolling solo, providing a post-game reaction. Steelers take care of business at home and upset the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 20-18. Good afternoon. I'm Mark Bergin. Thank you again for watching. Mitch Trubisky coming off the bench in relief of Kenny Pickett. Left the game with a concussion. We'll see how long Pickett misses, if he misses more time in future weeks, but Trubisky comes in, gets the job done. And this was a Steelers offense that actually moved the football today a little bit. And the Steelers played a well-rounded game, very sound defensively. They got pressure on Tom Brady. They had plays in special teams. Steven Sims making several plays in the return game. And this offense moved the football against a Todd Bowles-led defense that's among the NFL's best. And now I'm not saying 20 points is incredible, but 20 points against a very, very good defense and finding a way to get it done at home, snapping a 4-game win streak. I'm not going to lie. I didn't think there was any chance the Steelers would win today. And my picks this season have been absolutely terrible. I'm 1-5 straight up and 0-6 against the spread. So I suppose I should just pick against the Steelers every week because the opposite seems to happen of my pregame predictions. But again, the big thing I'm going to look at is how long is Kenny Pickett going to be out with this concussion? That's going to be the question moving forward for the future weeks for the Steelers. But they finally snapped a 4-game losing streak, and I think answer a lot of questions people had going into this week, considering they're coming off that 38-3 blowout loss to the Buffalo Bills. And how do you respond when you've got a 4-game losing streak? And Mike Tomlin and his coaching staff responded favorably to where now I question whether the Steelers would win a game between now and the bye week. You got 2 tough road games in prime time on Sunday Night Football next week against the Miami Dolphins, and then right before the bye week on the road against the Philadelphia Eagles, who remain the NFL's only undefeated team at the time of this recording. We'll see what the Eagles do tonight against the Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. But how about the Steelers offense? And also, we finally get a receiving touchdown from not just Najee Harris, but from one of the receivers, Chase Claypool, who had a terrific game today too. Claypool making plays on the outside and showing the promise that he did as a rookie when he had 11 touchdowns. Claypool today was a key difference maker. 7 receptions on all 7 targets today, 96 yards and a touchdown. He was huge for the Steelers, and he went up and got it in several key conversions. The one that comes to mind was not just the touchdown he scored, but on that last drive where the Steelers are able to run out the clock, they've got a 2nd and 2. There's a bad snap, and it knocks the Steelers back 3rd and 16, and they still convert. And Chase Claypool, it goes to show you with this receiving core, whether it's Claypool, whether it's George Pickens, you got to trust them to win one-on-ones and go and get the football. And both of those players, and specifically Claypool today, demonstrated the ability to do that, especially considering that tight end Pat Freiermuth was out today with a concussion. And that's another thing that you need to point to for the Steelers offense and really just the Steelers team overall. Another shout out I want to give Chris Boswell making a 55-yard field goal as well. You give him a mulligan for the game last week. He has 1 mulligan every single season, and that seemed to be last season where he gets it out of his system, and then he's pretty much money for the rest of the season on. But the Steelers injury report going into this game, it didn't look good. Minkah Fitzpatrick didn't play. Ahkello Witherspoon didn't play. Levi Wallace, Pat Freiermuth, Cam Sutton, DeMarvin Leal. I thought Tom Brady was going to pick apart this secondary, and instead they played really well in week 1 against the Bengals, turning Joe Burrow over 5 times. But this was as good of a performance. And again, getting pressure on Brady, easier said than done. It's easy to say, hey, let's just pressure a quarterback. But you see the 2 sacks, but they consistently were able to get after Brady with 4 guys rushing. You can drop 7 men into coverage. What that does for you defensively, that's something that really, really stuck out to me today. Still want to see the Steelers run game get going. Only 77 yards on the ground, 42 yards for Najee Harris. He had a 14-yard run in this one, and I want to see him break one loose. The Steelers still don't have a rush of more than 20 yards this season, but Najee Harris getting going in the running game is something I want to see in weeks moving forward. But Kenny Pickett was 11 of 18, 67 yards and a touchdown. Trubisky comes in 9 of 12, 144 yards and a touchdown as well. I think he did a nice job in relief, and we'll see again how long Pickett's going to be out for if he misses any time at all. And then this is the reason why you have Mitch Trubisky. This is the reason why you hang on to Mason Rudolph. Now, you might want to try to unload one with the trade deadline approaching on November the 1st, but this is why you hang on to the quarterbacks, because if one gets hurt and you could see Pickett's head slam into the turf and he leaves the game, this is the reason why you hang on to Trubisky. This is the reason why you hang on to Mason Rudolph, to where when this happened in 2019 and Roethlisberger went down, remember the Steelers had Joshua Dobbs and they traded him to the Jaguars. So then you're forced to go with Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges that season. And you just didn't have the quarterback depth you needed to have someone who's capable of stepping in for a game or 2 or 3 or 4 to make sure that you don't completely fall off the rails with your season. And so I thought Trubisky did a nice job coming in for Pickett today. And I don't think that there should be a quarterback competition. I still think that if Pickett is healthy to go, he should be the starter. You have to evaluate what you have in the rookie. But I thought both quarterbacks played well today in today's game. And again, I'm still in a disbelief. I can't believe the Steelers won this game today. I really, really cannot believe they missed the game, because you think about Tom Brady, the GOAT, 7 rings. Steelers were missing their top 3 corners and the best safety in the league in Minkah Fitzpatrick, and they still found a way to get done. I'll say this too about the Buccaneers. I hope tight end Cameron Brate is okay. He's a graduate of Naperville Central High School, rival high school, went up against him in high school. He was carted off and he was holding his thumbs up, and it seemed like he was moving his lower body around a little bit, but a scary, scary situation where he's dealing with a potential head injury almost immediately after Kenny Pickett was for the Steelers. Now, Pickett walked off under his own power. He went into the tent, the medical tent along the sidelines, and then went into the locker room. So we'll see in the coming weeks. We'll probably know more on Tuesday and Wednesday about Pickett's status for week 7 in the coming weeks. So we'll know more about Pickett as the Steelers begin to prepare now for the Miami Dolphins on Sunday Night Football in Miami. And then the following week, you have the Philadelphia Eagles on the road, really like the NFC's best team right now. But that's really what stuck out to me in this game. Again, I want to give a shout out to Steven Sims too, the return man. It's his job now. Gunnar Olszewski can stay on the practice squad because he had struggles holding on to the football, but Steven Sims had that key kick return to start the second half, and it led to a Steelers field goal. I would have liked to see Pittsburgh punch that in for a touchdown with the favorable field position, but then he had a great punt return that helped get the Steelers better field position too. So, if you have a guy who helps create plays and create better field position, you need plays like that if you're going to upset a team like the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers were a 9-point favorite today. They opened at 7.5, and that line went to 9. Might have even gone higher than that on some books. But if you're going to upset a team, you're going to need to make plays defensively, special teams, to help set your offense up for success. And I thought Sims did that for the Steelers today. I really like what I saw from him in the return game. And hopefully he can gain confidence from this to where he can do this in future weeks to help the Steelers out in the punt return and kickoff return game. So he really stuck out to me. I'd give the game ball to Chase Claypool, though. Claypool and Trubisky, just down the stretch, Claypool is that go-to guy. And if he's got one-on-one matchups, I mean, the size and speed we saw from Claypool is really what stuck out to him when he was coming out of Notre Dame. He's a rookie in 2020 season where he scored 11 touchdowns, and hopefully he can get back to that form. And the Steelers can consistently utilize him. So I liked what I saw from him. And again, it's not just the 7 catches, it's the 7 catches on 7 targets. You got to love that efficiency for the Steelers. I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. Again, just wanted to provide a quick post-game reaction to the Steelers' upset victory 20-18 at home, Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Again, we'll see what the Steelers do here in the coming weeks, not to absolve the last 4 weeks, but the Steelers snapped a 4-game losing streak today at home certainly exciting. And you hope Kenny Pickett can get back onto the field and healthy. And that for the rest of the Steelers too, whether it's Minkah Fitzpatrick, any of the corners. We'll see how TJ Watt comes along from that pectoral injury and arthroscopic knee surgery. So we'll see where the Steelers team goes from here. But tip your cap to Mike Tomlin and this coaching staff for getting things right, enduring the criticism, which was warranted this past week, in getting things right against a Buccaneers team that I do expect to make the playoffs, led by Tom Brady. I'll go ahead and sign off here. Hope all of you enjoy the rest of the Week 6 action. We've got Bills and Chiefs. I'm going to go watch that right now. And then Sunday Night Football, Cowboys and Eagles. It's going to be a great rest of your Sunday. So hope all of you enjoy the rest of the week, and I'll see you next time. Until then, take care. So long, everybody.